G'day there guys, Connor here again from Marquee Industries. Hope you're having a fantastic day. Anyway, as usual, we're back with some more stories from Reddit, so sit back, relax, and enjoy. Alrighty folks, we're old relationships. This one was written by user Pantwearer123, and it's titled, My girlfriend of 6 months has changed her behaviour recently, and I want to leave. So I met her earlier this year. We were fast friends within a month of meeting and dating after a month. Official for 6 months or so. Met her on a night out with some friends. We live separately, but she spends a lot of time in my house as it's nearer to where she works. Our relationship started really nicely. I felt like we just got on really well, and she was very supportive of me as well. But recently, she's been quite pushy about me making changes to my lifestyle and seems angry and disappointed with the results. The two big ones are my work and what I wear. As for my work, I work at the same store I've worked at since I was 16. It's just an easy job, pays my bills, and I know how to do everything there. I'm basically a manager without the responsibility of actually being a manager, as I don't want that level of responsibility for no extra pay. I also make money via stocks and cryptocurrencies, so I don't struggle for money. As for what I like to wear, I have many jumpers and t-shirts of an emo band my friends and I loved when we were young. I genuinely have like 50 or so that I wear a lot because it makes me happy and doesn't hurt anyone either. I admit I have a bit of a problem with anxiety. Familiarity helps me with it. Some family think I might have OCD, but I've never been diagnosed. My girlfriend a few weeks ago expressed frustration with my clothes, saying I need to grow up and get new ones. She spends a lot of money to get whatever clothes are in fashion. I don't have a problem with that as it's her money to spend and she isn't hurting anyone. But I don't know why she has a problem with my clothes. The argument was big, but resolved, and we went shopping and bought me some new clothes. They are actually quite nice, and I like wearing them too. A few days later, I was wearing a band t-shirt again because the new clothes were in the wash, and she was really angry about it. I explained the new clothes were in the wash, and it wasn't decided that I'd completely stop wearing the band stuff. She wouldn't talk to me for the rest of the day. The next day she had cooled off and explained that she thinks new clothes will help me grow as a person. We talked a long time and I eventually agreed to get rid of the band clothes. While I was packing them up, I started crying and she called me stupid and I asked her to leave. She came back a few hours later and we made up. I packed the boxes into my car and told her I was going to donate them, and she was really pleased and said I was making the right choice getting rid of them. I didn't donate them, I took them to work, and I'm keeping them there until further notice. My boss was confused, but understanding. I got back home and she'd ordered me lots of new clothes. She told me she understands it was upsetting, but I'd be better off for it. That night, a few hours later, she wanted to talk about my work and why I'm not a manager. I explained to her that I don't want to be. She's been distant and only talks about how I should ask to be a manager. I've explained why I don't want to be, and that I wouldn't even be paid more, nor is there a need for it at the store. She just keeps saying that I need to fight for a pay rise as well, so I can treat us to nice things. I told her that isn't how it works, and that I make money in other ways, and that she has her own money too, so it shouldn't matter. She shouted at me that I'm useless and stormed out. My boss also told me she called the store and asked him why I'm not a manager. After being upset and feeling useless for a few hours, I decided that I don't want to be with her. I realized I don't see my friends as much as I used to because she likes to spend all our free time just us. I just don't feel happy with her anymore and feel like she actually acted differently when we started out just to get close to me. She even said she loved all the band stuff when I first showed her. I think she may be right that new clothes might help me a bit. I genuinely appreciate that and like how I look in some of the clothes we bought. But I also liked how I looked in the band stuff and still think it wasn't over the top. I'd normally just wear jeans and a t-shirt or jumper anyway. I don't think it's as ridiculous as she said it was. I just thought of it as a wearable collection. People collect weirder things. As well as this, I really don't like that I lied to her about donating the band stuff. It felt horrible and dishonest. My boss and colleagues could tell something was off when I took the boxes into work. I try to be honest as I don't want to upset people. Anyway, I want to break up with her, but I know it's going to be difficult. She's good at talking me into stuff, but my mind is made up 100% on this. I'm still not sure when or how to do it though. I'm feeling really anxious about it. Wondering if you guys can give me some advice or help. How can I be assertive about wanting to break up and not have her talk me out of it? Yeah, I think breaking up with her is probably the right thing to do here. She seems very controlling. And the way she gets upset and doesn't talk to him for entire days after they have a fight, yeah, it doesn't exactly scream emotional maturity. Let's go to the comments. Yes, I think you are right to break up with her. She crossed all sorts of lines in my opinion. It's fine that she made some suggestions on clothing and even that she expressed that she preferred that while in public, but asking you to get rid of them altogether, or to not wear it while lounging around the house or at the gym or doing yard work type of thing, that's crossing the line into controlling. It's okay for her to ask about your position at work, but calling your boss? That's a major line she crossed there. That's completely unacceptable. She was treating you like a child. That's highly disrespectful. It takes two people to decide to be in a relationship. It takes one to decide to break up. When you go to have the conversation, just remember that you aren't asking for her permission or for her to agree. You are simply informing her of your decision. Personally, I'm not a fan of the in-public advice unless you feel she may be violent. Just get together with her when you can. Inform her of your decision, give her a few minutes, maybe 10 to 20, to ask questions as needed, and then cut it off. The whole conversation need not last more than 20 minutes. Oh boy, I feel like at 6 months is when people's true colours come out, and boy did hers. Here's the advice I'd give. Some is a repeat of other advice on this thread. 1. Get back all your stuff and wear what makes you feel most confident. 2. Schedule a time to meet up somewhere neutral and public. 3. If she has a key to your home, change all your locks. Keep your car parked inside a locked garage if you have one. 4. Gather up any item she has at your house so she doesn't have an excuse to ever go back there. Take it with you to give her at the meeting after the breakup. This will let her know you are absolutely serious. If she says she left such and such, you tell her you will mail it. 5. At the meetup or breakup, be firm. Don't leave any rooms for options down the road, or if she begs that she'll change. She won't change, she'll just try to fool you a little longer. And 6. When she asks why, be clear and honest. Say, I like who I am, but you keep wanting me to change. Honestly, you're not very nice to me. I miss my friends and my old life. It's clear you want someone different. I think you should be free to go find that person. And the big one, you called my work and asked my boss why I wasn't manager. That is completely unacceptable behavior for anyone, let alone someone I've only been dating for 6 months. Good luck. Do it. She seems controlling. Like, why ask someone to do these things 6 months after dating? These are red flags. Let her go. Go back to work and get your crap back. Opie replies, I do actually want to tell her about the clothes, partly so I can get them properly back, and partly that it might help make the breakup happen, especially now with these outside opinions. I think your response to all of this was completely reasonable. You opened yourself up to her suggestions and to trying new things, and you kept your boundaries about not wanting to enter a management position at your store. I think you have a healthy point of view on yourself, your life, and what makes you happy. The fact that she called your work to complain without telling you is a major red flag. When you end things, I would just suggest that you stay focused on the fact that you were willing to change and try new things, while she was hardline and disrespectful of your choices. Someone who really cares about you would behave more like you did, seeking compromise. It is going to be uncomfortable, but you can do it. If she becomes angry, ask her to leave or leave the situation yourself, but don't waver on the fact that the relationship is over. I would strongly suggest going no contact after the breakup so that she cannot manipulate you out of your decision. He replies, Thanks for your advice and your compliments, I really appreciate both. I know she's had several red flags and I am decided that I want to break up with her. I'm more worried about what she'll say or do to people around us and if and how I can stop that. No contact is seeming likely. I miss making my own choices about stuff and seeing my friends. Okay, onto an update, 7 days later. Some things I want to address first. I work at the same place I have done for years because of my anxiety. I know how to do everything at my job and it helps me feel grounded and not worry. When I said I'm basically a manager, I mean that I do sometimes fill in shifts and responsibilities for them, and we have talked about me officially being manager before, but it's not what I want. I don't want to take my work home with me and never be able to switch off like I see some of them do. That said, I do want to have some more ambition in my life going forward, and I am going to be looking at other ventures. My clothes. My band clothes are now back at my house. I still have the new clothes we bought, as I paid for a lot of them, and I plan to continue wearing them too. I can see what she meant by wanting me to wear new clothes. I just didn't like her end goal, or the way she went about it. For the people thinking I dress like those goth people dancing under a bridge, I don't. It's usually just a band tee or jumper with some normal jeans. I'm not a teenager, just a 30-year-old who still loves the same band. No hate to those dancing goths, I love that meme. Okay, so on to the main story. I took advice from some of the responses to the original post. We lived separately, so there wasn't any issues with leases, but I did change my lock, as I'd given her a key a few months ago. As for the breakup, it didn't go well, but it did go at least. I was at home thinking of how to do it, which cafe or restaurant I was going to do it in, etc. She finished work and came to mine without any prior discussion. Not out of the ordinary, to be fair. Anyway, she could tell something was off, and because I'd been thinking about it all for hours, I was 150% sure I wanted to do it, so I just did it here instead. I first told her that I'd lied about donating my clothes, and that I'd actually taken them to work instead. She was angry and calling me a liar and everything. I apologized for it and tried to explain that I felt a lot of unfair pressure to get rid of them when I really didn't want to, and my collection wasn't hurting anyone. I don't really feel that the argument was fair, and I feel that her actions made me lie to her, but I hate saying stuff like that, so I just left it and moved on. I then told her I was really annoyed about her calling my boss. She said she was sorry, but I should be a manager. I said that's okay, and she looked confused, but accepted it, I guess. Then I just said I didn't want to be with her anymore, because she had actually given me a second to speak. She looked shocked and asked me what I meant. I just said I didn't want to be with her anymore, and that I wanted her to leave and would be changing my locks, but was open to calling and messaging about picking up her stuff. She said stuff like we don't have to break up, but I kept saying my mind is made up, and technically we already had. She called me pathetic as she walked out the door and slammed it behind her. This was the other day. I haven't heard from her, but I sent her a message about picking up her stuff. There isn't much of it here, so maybe she doesn't want to. Anyway, since then, I called my boss to explain the situation and be wary of any contact from her. We've worked together for years and we're good friends, so he was very understanding and said if I need help in any way, he'll try to provide it. We go for drinks often with other colleagues, so I'll explain it all to them there probably. As for me, like I said above, I do want to work on myself a bit, partly because of the things she said, but not for the same reasons, just for me to grow a bit in terms of work experience and fashion sense. I'll be buying more smart casual clothes to wear as well. I don't think I'll ever fully stop wearing band clothes though, haha. I don't quite know what I want to do in terms of work, but I have the experience of teamwork and leadership from the store, which I think is usable and transferable to other jobs too. I'm feeling weird, but okay. It feels great to have acted decisively. I haven't felt sad yet, not happy either, just relieved mostly. Some of her stuff is still here, and it feels weird to see it knowing it'll never be that way again. I don't know how to describe that feeling. Anyway, I've spoken to friends about it and we'll be seeing them soon. I don't know what she's been up to or what she'll do. Not sure if I want to. There's nothing left for me with her anyway. Just wanted to thank everyone for their kind words in the original post. It felt really good to know I wasn't being treated fairly, and I wasn't just being stupid like she said. Some even messaged me with similar stuff or how much they liked their partners with similar habits to my band clothes, which was really nice. One of the reasons I still wear the band tees is sometimes other fans spot them and will have a nice conversation about it and always end the conversation smiling. It's just nice. One comment says, "Not everyone wants to move up in their career. That's okay. If you can make what you need, then that's fine. Not everyone is cut out to be a manager. Do what you want. I'm glad you're rid of your girlfriend. She was toxic and so negative. She wanted to change you to her vision of what you should be, not what you actually want. They couldn't pay me enough to manage. I've reached the point in my career that there's no more title jump for me, just pay increases. I'm okay with that. I suck at managing people. I make a great lead, and I stick with that." Yeah, and fair enough too. And after 6 months, I feel like the girlfriend should have known that about OP, but yet she still tried to change him anyway. So yeah, good job to OP for getting rid of her, and not hesitating in doing so. What about you guys? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Otherwise, that's it from that story, and we'll move on to the next one. Okay, jumping over to Am I the A-Hole, this one was written by user MaxineLou7, and it's titled, Am I the a-hole for not disclosing I had plastic surgery to my boyfriend? I, 26 female, have been dating Max, 25, for 4 months. When I was 22, I had a nose job as I broke my nose twice as a kid and left it with a large bump. Then, at 23, I had a breast augmentation that bumped me up 2 cup sizes. These were lifelong insecurities that I was bullied over, and it was really relieving to get them done. On to the present. I met Max through a friend, and things have been great. Last night, I was strolling through my social media while on the sofa with him. I stopped on an old classmate's vacation photo where she wore a bikini and frankly had very obvious implants. She looks great, happy for her, but you can tell. Max glanced over at that moment and said, "Gross." I asked him what the deal was, and he said women who get implants or other surgeries are a huge turn-off to most guys, and how men prefer natural over 2 balloons, and how insecure she looks. I couldn't help but laugh and said, "So you're turned off by me?" He got very confused and asked what I meant. I informed him I had procedures done before. He kept denying it and saying I was joking until I showed him old photos of me. He got quiet and left shortly after. I got a text saying I should have disclosed this on the first date, how I led him on and that he needs to reconsider things. It's the next day, haven't heard anything. I'm bewildered. Am I the a-hole? Nah, this guy needs to get over himself. Clearly his opinion is only based on the super egregious body modifications. The fact that he didn't even know Opie had work done just tells you how little he knows. I wonder how he feels about dudes getting hair transplants. Let's go to the comments. Not the a-hole. You shouldn't have to disclose your medical history for someone to date you. Opie says, "That's what I thought. Even though it's mainly cosmetic history, clearly he liked how I looked enough to start dating me, so what's the issue, lol?" The issue is, he now realizes he's a hypocrite. Reminds me of all the men who share pictures of women with a full face of makeup that's beachy or natural, and then claim they only like women who wear no makeup. Not the a-hole. You lucked out that he showed you this side at 4 months in. You could have been married before you found out he's this shallow and misogynistic. Edit, assuming women take most men's preference for natural breasts into consideration when deciding they would like breast augmentation is a misogynistic viewpoint, or indeed that men's preference for anything should matter at all to a woman deciding on her own aesthetic. He was physically attracted to her. His dislike of cosmetic surgery has nothing to do with what he is physically attracted to. What about hair plugs? Is that mental health red flag? She replies, "I agree. Honestly, even if he texts me again saying he's okay to continue, I really don't think I'm interested." Not the a-hole. Not going to any second dates if he expects someone to disclose medical information on a first date. Are you telling me that he cannot tell after dating for 4 months? I assume that he has hands and have gotten past third base, unless it was his first pair. Opie replies, "He's had 4 girlfriends before me, so I assume he has. I had a great surgeon though, and everything does look very natural. I think he just had an expectation all implants look like solid circles strapped onto a chest, and he can't fathom that's not the case. We had sex before, yeah. By the looks, they do look pretty natural. Never had any partners ask otherwise. By touch, no clue. Maybe the guys I've been with have no clue how an implant feels. I got nothing. I also didn't think that this was a first date conversation, lol." Yeah, that's because it's probably not, really. Let's go to an update the next day. Alright y'all, I got a text from him a few minutes ago asking to meet up, as he thinks he wants to continue the relationship and wants to talk things over. After all these comments and some thinking, I sent back along the lines of his reaction that made me realize he's not the partner I'm looking for, and that I've decided to not continue our relationship. So yeah, I'm single now. Kinda confused if I should mention this to future dates before we're official to weed out any more like him. How do you even bring this up? Oh well, I like me. I'm content with my natural and unnatural parts, and I'll find someone who doesn't have huge hang-ups on plastic surgery. Edit 2, I just woke up and there's no way I can reply to all the comments I got overnight, but thank you to everybody for your opinions, and thank you to everyone who's wishing me well. I am sad. We had plenty of good times in those 4 months, and I was hopeful about this one, but I'll be alright. Time for a few self-dates to cheer myself up. In Edit 3, he finally replied to my text, saying, "I was hopeful we could start over on an honest beginning, but I guess only one of us is mature enough to look past each other's shortcomings in the relationship. I'm glad you revealed this about yourself before I got too involved. Goodbye. Good luck finding someone, because no real man would respect someone who can't even respect their own body. Wow, I was comfortable with my decision before, but now I'm extra comfortable. Blocked and bye. He never deserved this limited edition set. One comment says, so I read this to my boyfriend as I wanted a guy's perspective on this, and we had a good laugh at Max's expense. Sorry, OP, not at yours. I know this is probably not a fun moment in time for you, but what an a-hole. As boyfriend put it, yeah, because that's the most pertinent information on a first date. Not what are your interests or what's your family like, but tell me what bits of you are plastic. Good riddance to this dude, and we hope you feel better real soon. Much love, not the a-hole. And she replies, I'm very, very relieved by the comments of men that are also bewildered at this. It gives me hope for my next dating adventure, haha. Thanks for the well wishes. Yeah, believe me when I say that this guy does not stand for all men. God, no. Anyway, guys, that's it from that story, and that's it from me today. Hope you guys enjoyed those stories. Thanks for making it to the end, and I'll see you all in the next video. Have a good day. Cheers.